Can you help me with Whirlpool dehumidifier problems?
Whirlpool recalled over 1 million dehumidifiers in 2013.
What was wrong with them?
They often overheated, causing at least 100 fires.
Then I'm glad I bought my dehumidifier after 2013, so that is not a problem I have to worry about.
The unit could still overheat if the motor is wearing out, or the board has electrical shorts.
Yes, and the wires could short out if a rodent chewed on them, but that is not very likely.
That's an oddly specific scenario.
That's why the lamp in the living room died. A gerbil got out and decided to taste test it or whittle its teeth down or something.
Then I hope you do not have rats down in the basement.
Only if dust bunnies start breeding, though the mold is the greater problem. The dehumidifier runs all the time but does not seem to make much of a difference.
If the drain is not working right and spills water on the floor instead of the reservoir, you remove water from the air only to feed the mold on the floor instead. If the drain is clogged by dirt, you similarly risk an overflow.
I do not even like cleaning the sink drain, and I deal with it a lot more often.
The problem could be the float switch, which is supposed to shut off the dehumidifier as the water bucket comes close to overflowing. If the float isn't floating as it should or the switch is broken, it keeps running before overflowing.
How can I tell what the problem is?
If you have a nearly full bucket and the float isn't at the right level, that's obvious. Lift up the float to the point where it should shut off, and if it doesn't, then you know it is the switch.
At least the switch I can find online for $20 or $30.
You could have it overflowing because the water floods.
If the dehumidifier is floating in a flooded basement, it is obvious why it is not working, as is the fact it cannot handle that level of humidity.
If the dehumidifier is icing up, whether due to insufficient airflow or too low temperatures or a refrigerant leak, then the water from the air plus the meltwater may be flowing faster than the drain could handle. The result is water spilling onto the floor.
That's what you meant by overflow. How do you mean for me to fix it?
Insufficient airflow you can fix by changing the filters and making sure the unit isn't surrounded by stuff to impede the airflow. Too lower temperatures mean getting a dehumidifier rated for a basement or turning on the furnace.
What about a refrigerant leak?
Fixing the leak takes more than duct tape, and adding refrigerant is something only a professional can do.